Hey everyone, welcome to the best US Mint news channel on YouTube. I'm Son of a Silver Stacker. Today's date is the 15th of September, 2025. In this video, we're going to be talking about, well, less than a month now. That's right, less than a month. The Navy privy mark comes out of San Francisco, California, as well as, well, about a month and a day or so, comes that limited edition silver proof set. So there's the last two American Silver Eagles coming out of San Francisco, California, as far as we know. I mean, that could change next year, but we don't know just yet. And I got to ask the question, how many of those American Silver Eagles in limited edition silver proof sets is the United States Mint actually going to make? And are they going to be toned as well? That's something that we need to find out. Now, before any of that, if you're new here, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get to a bazillion subs. It's actually a really big number. In fact, it's ginormous. Yeah, you can check it out on the Google machine, right? See that? Now, we're always live, never edited, and always unscripted. I never know what I'm not going to say. Now, let's bounce over to Money Metals so I can show you those live spot prices. So gold is down 530 to 36.5180. We're still near all these all-time highs. It's incredible. Silver down 4 pennies to 42.35. Platinum down 650 to 14.0155. And palladium, the only one that's really up, is actually just kind of flat, up 80 cents to 12.18 even Steven. And Dr. Copper over here is 4.65 per pound. Over here, you're looking at in stock American Silver Eagle, whose premium is $6.69 for a quantity of 1 through 39. They'll ask that you pay $49.04. Remember, the buyback was like a penny over spot. Where are we at now today? Look at that, 43.59. That's definitely above. Yeah, definitely above the silver spot price, 43.59. That is incredible. And how long before we see these American Silver Eagles at this low quantity right here, 1 through 39? When are we going to see $50 an ounce? That is incredible. Don't even know what I'm seeing nowadays. It's incredible. Now, over here to the United States Mint's product schedule for 2025. They don't have the new one up just yet. I'm going to go here to the bottom and show you. Yep, ended the 2025 releases. And I would imagine once the 2026 is available, it will be found here at the bottom of the page. Now, let's get back to it. October 10, that's right, less than a month away. And then October 16th, a month and a day or so, you got the limited edition silver proof set. So let's start there. All right, we know that this one is not going to be produced next year at San Francisco Mint. It could be available at West Point. It could be available in Philadelphia or Denver, right? Wouldn't that be cool for Denver? I'd be down for that. That'd be like, yep, sign me up for that one. And would we see condition rarity on that one? And here's my big question. I already asked it. Out of the 25,008, I would say the Mint doesn't even produce that many. I think they've had some kind of quality issues over there at the San Francisco Mint. This is probably going to be closer to 15 or maybe even 20,000, somewhere between those two numbers, I would imagine. And that, honestly, because it contains all the silver proof pieces that you get in the limited, or rather than just the silver proof set, is going to make this set probably very valuable, I would say, especially in particular, you've got that Kennedy $half in silver. That's right. You remember when we first looked at the silver proof set, this Kennedy $half was anywhere between $125 to $150 per coin, and that was ungraded. I don't even know what it is now in a proof 70. Could you imagine $200, $250, $300 for a Kennedy $half? Last one, right? And people do like the first issuance and the last issuance of any coin, because after this year, 2025, this coin is a goner. That's right. It's going to go away for the semi-quincentennial. That's the semi-Q. And it's going to be replaced, and then he's going to make his return in 2027, and he's going to be facing the east, or right facing, and the obverse that the reverse that we know and love right there with the heraldic eagle, yeah, that's gonzo too. That will not be making a comeback. So yeah, last of the Kennedy dollar, a $half. I don't believe they're going to even get close to the 25,000. And what's interesting about this product limit right here, 25,000, is actually a right-sized product from the United States Mint. Typically, we see 40,000 or so. I don't even think they're going to have half of the 40,000. I really don't. That's going to be incredible. So I think this is going to be a special set. Better date, semi-key date, or key date set. Yeah, probably one of those three easily. Maybe semi-key date at the very minimum within those three levels, right? Now let's keep on keeping on. We're going to go here to the 250th anniversary United States Navy American Eagle 1 ounce silver proof coin. And yeah, what's the mintage on this? We don't even know. All right. It could be 100,000 like the Army privy mark. It could be 75,000 like the That's right, the V75 privy mark, and I think it's going to be a lot closer to the V75 privy, only because the laser engraved American Silver Eagle, that's right, well, I think the mintages are similar to the V75 than they are closer to the Army privy mark, and I think that's incredible. And we can only guess, we can only surmise about that, right? Because we don't have the information from the United States Mint. Remember, they put down the numbers on a desk, the sales numbers, and then when they got back, the sales numbers were gone. And obviously they're in a computer somewhere floating around, but they don't know what they did with them, and they don't know how many they've sold. Imagine running that kind of operation. Yeah, they were here, but now they're not. Well, okay. What's your next magical trick? I just don't even know what they're doing over there. Do they care? I imagine they care, but somebody doesn't care. Probably, who knows? But it's a bummer in the summer that we don't know those, because really, we look to find those sales numbers because they're vital to numismatists, flippers, investors to determine demand and what the mintage was. So yeah, let's keep on keeping on. This is going to be an important coin here, I do believe. I mean, look at the Army privy mark already. It's outselling the laser privy mark. It's outselling the eagle privy mark. It's quite incredible what we're seeing here. And that is the following one. And that's going to be out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I think this is going to be a special coin too. And maybe, just maybe, we'll have that low mintage on this one as well, featuring the United States Marine Corps privy mark. Now, interesting thing here I want to show you. Here we find ourselves at PCGS, and we're in the population report. And I've got here 2025 West Point $1 Silver Eagle with the U.S. Army Privy featuring the 250th anniversary deep cameo. All right, out of 130 submissions, 29 of those bad boys were in a 70, 97 were in a 69, 3 in a 68, and 1 in a 67. It's like a parking lot American Silver Eagle, not like a parking lot penny. But there it is. I mean, could you imagine getting a 67? They probably didn't even take it out of the box or even the capsule for that matter. Could you imagine what that thing looks like? And would you want to buy that? Yeah, give me the 67. Wonder what they're selling it for. They should probably list it on eBay. That would be kind of interesting to see what they would pull. But yeah, we could also look at the first strike, but I don't believe that any of these ones here, first day of issue, advance release, I don't think those are really fair numbers. I honestly, a lot of these, how many of these coins look, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I can't even think. My tongue can't keep up. All right, let's just take this one, for example. The 250th anniversary, first day of issue, David Hall PC, okay? Now, do you think they submitted 893 of those, or maybe 1,000, right? 1,000 probably. Yeah, that's probably what had happened. And they probably told PCGS, don't grade anything that's a 69 or lower. We don't want any of those. And that's why we see the numbers that we see here today. And I got to ask the question, what if PCGS actually said, okay, yeah, we graded them, right? But we were told not to slab them, all right? But we gave them back. Now, wouldn't it be great if PCGS actually told us, like in a lighter gray number, how many were graded as 69 and had to be sent back? The darker shades here are the actual number graded, but then how many were actually submitted? That would be great to find out how many were submitted here and like a gray number underneath it, and then how many were sent back. I think that would be really important to find out. Just saying, to give us a better idea of what the grades are really coming in at, right? That's important. Now let's go over here to eBay. You won't believe this. So today's the September 15th, right? Today's September 15th. Yeah, these Army Privy Mark American Silver Eagles are still selling like hotcakes. All right, look at this one. New listing, ended recently. Sold listings, completed listings. 228 here, 220 there. All right, hey, how much did it cost initially? $105. That's right. So people are doubling their money here. Well, if you take out eBay fees, PayPal fees, and shipping costs, yeah, they're probably doing all right, okay? 220 there, 215 there, 250, done really well for themselves. 395, yeah, amazing. Look at that. First strike, and we looked at the numbers for first strike over PCGS, right? Yeah, 521, 408. Yeah, it's about a 50-50 shot. And remember, 67. I wonder if that 67's even in here. 159 there, that's a bargain. And it makes you wonder why they went down precipitously there. If they're raw here, 250, 215, what happened? What transpired between September 6th and September 13th that they had to drop the price to $129. Yeah, not sure what's going on there, but if I'm seeing one selling for $249, I'm not listing it for a buy it now at $130. Not gonna do it. $249 there, $399 there. Look at that one. PCGS First Strike $399. That is outstanding. Yeah, that's the way it's breaking down, folks. And I do believe once we find out the mintages, because we already know the mintage on the Army Privy Mark, we're at 98,000 and change. I think once we find out that the Navy and the Marine Corps Privy Mark are probably closer to the V75 numbers, these prices are going to spike up. You're going to see this one, in a proof 70. Yeah, it's probably going to be closer to $500 or $600. That is going to be remarkable to see that happen. And then that begs the question, what will the raw sell for? Probably about $300, probably $50 more than what we're seeing today. 400 there, yeah, incredible. Look at this, 220, and that is a proof 69 deep cameo. And like I said, these 69 sell for what the raw are selling for, and that's what we typically see. 218, 249 there, 225, yeah. It's incredible. Can't wait. And we're coming up at the end of the year here at the United States Mint, and things are just getting more interesting as we just roll on through this product schedule. It's incredible. And then a month and 6 days or so, we have the America Women Quarters, the last of the America Women Quarters, featuring Althea Gibson, and then we're looking at the Marine Corps Privy, and then the Wonder Woman Comic Art Coin and Medal Program, and then the William Taft Presidential Silver Medal. There's 15, 16 products left, and that's it. Game over for the year. Morgan and Peace Dollar 2-coin reverse proof set out of San Francisco. Makes you wonder if this one's going to be the last of its kind out of San Francisco, but it doesn't say anything about that whatsoever because we're, too far away to find out what's going on here for this particular set. And then obviously after that, you've got the final product of the year, the American Innovation $1 coin reverse proof set. That's going to be amazing. Can't wait, because that Florida American Innovation coin is remarkably beautiful. The Florida one is gorgeous. Now let's go to the plus ones. I've yammered for way too long. Now this is Proverb 25:8. This is important, right? Go not forth. I'm telling you, the language they use here. Go not forth hastily to fight or argue, lest thou know not what to do in thy end, when thy neighbor hath put thee to shame. Now, I think what that means, if I'm going to wrap my head around it, don't become involved in an argument unless you've thought through how it may end. Ask yourself, what outcomes are acceptable? Now, have you ever heard the phrase, and it's from the movie, I think, Anchorman? Yeah, that escalated quickly. That's from the movie Anchorman. But I think it's one of those phrases that's going to be timeless, right? Now let's go here to 3 Nines Fine 99.9 KOIN Coin News Radio. This is a band I just saw at Epcot just a couple days ago. Maybe it was Friday night. And that's Starship. And the name of this song is Nothing Is Gonna Stop Us Now. Great song. Lyrics on screen. Hope you dig it as much as I do. Now, with that said, I want to thank y'all for coming. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you hear and see, hey, sub the channel. It's free. What's not free? Well, that's a membership. It's $1.99 a month. And that's really the price of a cheap cup of coffee or an inexpensive cup of coffee, if you like that terminology better. Also, it's about, 6.6 cents per video in a 30-day calendar month. Not a whole lot of. Y'all have a great start to your work week. Stacker out.